G'day everyone. Just figured I'd do a quick update on the market for you. Let's go with that. Sorry, just getting this right. Give you a better view. That wasn't really it, was it? Anyway, run with that for now. So obviously we've had the dip on Bitcoin finally. At least we're not going freaking sideways like we have been for a month. I can't remember if I put this on the last stream or not, but no, shit, it was probably over a week ago that I sort of put this in as my target for the guys in the Opus Labs Discord in particular. Basically, I'm expecting it to come down, at least hit this 200 EMA on the daily. As you can see, we've sort of hit the 800 and bounced a little bit, but on a range of different time frames, I'm thinking it'll probably come down. Interesting note, put this volume profile on here, anchored volume profile, and one thing of interest is it does seem to come down to at least the value area low. Like this line here is the value area low, and that's the value area high as it develops. And this one came right down, bounced off the middle of the Bollinger Bands on the daily. But then we do push up. It's gone through the top end of the Bollinger Bands and the daily area high. When it's come back is what I'm more interested in at the moment, is it has come back down and just clipped an area that's got the value area low and the 200 EMA in it and bounced off that. Now, we are sitting at a lot of volume traded through this area at the moment. So on the shorter time frames, I'll show you what that has done to it. This is a pretty solid daily candle and pretty solid momentum to the downside here. So this momentum indicator hasn't, it's obviously ticked down on the last one. It's pretty close to the bottom though too. And I don't pay too much attention to this momentum one on the daily. But the PMARP is getting pretty low as well. So I would be expecting a little bit of a bounce probably in a day or two. What happens between now and then is potentially we come down and we do tap this 200 EMA here, maybe wick a little bit lower. So we could potentially even wick into this vector candle here, the bottom, just recover the bottom of this vector. I don't know that we'll get all the way into this vector just because the value area low at the moment is sitting above that. I'd be surprised if we dip below 2600 or 26,300 on this dip. I have a feeling it's going to stop in here somewhere. So that's my overall take at the moment. What happens from there? Guess, not financial advice, but we'll probably go back up. I actually don't know that we'll get much past here. I think the way the economy's going and stuff like that, I have a funny feeling that we might sort of go a little bit sideways before we actually take a bigger drop down into this sort of region. And that's when we'll actually have peak fear, peak apathy, peak everything, and that's when we'll start to climb out of it. So I'm still expecting bull run to start in earnest in sort of 2024, but there'll be the whole climbing the wall of fear thing to come out of it. It won't just shoot straight up. For anyone that thinks that's how it's happened, just look at history. It doesn't happen like that. It goes slowly, and then it gets to a point where it just never looks back. So we're not at that point yet by any means. The other thing it could still do, potentially, but I just don't think it's got the interest in it at the moment. You would need like a Bitcoin ETF, spot ETF or something like that to drive it. But we could sort of come down and then just slowly sort of grind up into this area, potentially into about the 40k mark. That would be the case if stocks do the same thing, but at the same time, Bitcoin's pretty uncorrelated with stocks at the moment. So typically stocks will bottom out end of August, early September, and then they'll go on a run where they'll pick up at least what they lost in the August drop. So I'm expecting a green end to the year after this correction that's going on at the moment for stocks. Not necessarily for Bitcoin. Bitcoin might do its own thing for a little bit, and it's all just due to liquidity and the apathy in the crypto space at the moment. So that's sort of a potential, but I don't know, I'd kind of like to actually see it come down from here, bottom around the Christmassy time, and then go up, and then just keep churning through as the global economy craps its pants. That's a potential, but I don't know. They're just guesses. They're just potentials. Not really that meaningful at the moment. So we'll get into just some shorter time frames that are of interest. So again, we've got the 800 EMA on the 12-hour coming in at the bottom of this box. Volatility is only just starting to expand here too on the 12-hour. But we are getting pretty close to the lows on the PMARP. But in saying that too, this is sort of an average over a period of time. It bases it off an average over a period of time. So statistically, we could easily blow past and get down low and stay low for a little while. I'll do the 6-hour. As you can see, the 6-hour 800's in there as well. So that's a pretty good target for me, sort of the low end of this range, 27,300-ish. I think I actually have a little buy in there set up on the spot. As you can see, the PMARP is starting to really bottom out on some of these time frames. Just the 4-hour. Yeah, 4 hours pretty well bottomed. Everything below that is the PMARP is very low. Looks like we're getting a doji on the 4-hour. Decent volumes obviously coming through here as well. The fact that we closed that low, we could see a little bit of a pump just into some of these levels here, but then I'd expect a little bit more sell off before it's properly done. The other thing too is like a lot of the shorter time frames, you can see how far below the Bollingers we are. Now this isn't your standard Bollingers, it's about a 155 period, but you can see we're typically not that far below them. So I would expect a little bit of a recovery, probably up into this candle here, into this vector support, which is now basically a resistance, but these are all vectors, so you would expect this to be recovered. There will be a bounce probably here up into that region, 28.4, somewhere like that. But whether we actually come down, I still think we come down a little bit more over the period of the next few days to next week sort of thing. That's about it. really, like you can see, this PMARP is stupid low. Like it's just because we're so far away from this average of like the 50 and the 20, basically. I think I got this based on the 50, my PMARP. So yeah, we're in our potential buy zone here. Just it's worth waiting for a decent turn. So somewhere sort of the 4 hour. If you're looking for it to really go up and pump, you're looking for a 4 hour turn, I reckon, somewhere in here. Well, potentially a daily turn, but what sort of concerns me and makes me think this could go on a bit longer and a bit deeper off this particular run is that we've only just started expanding on these Bollinger Bands, and they were really close together. Like volatility's been stupid low, so big volatility expansion. Typically you wouldn't see it sort of come down and then go straight back up and go to the green side. Typically you'll see bounces met with more selling demand. So yeah, we could go reasonably deep on this. Just have to wait and see, I guess. As I said, I think I've got a buy in here, but I'll be looking at it more as a bounce and probably sell somewhere in this region here if it gets there. Anyway, that's about it.